Commander, looks like our new friends from the Hand have just entered orbit. I'll get them cleared to land right away.
Commander, I am Darth Rivix. I believe the Empress told you to expect me.
You'll be the liaison between the Alliance and the Hand.
Precisely. Competition for the role was heated, as I'm sure you can imagine. I am proud to have stood above all others. I'll have my shuttle bring me to the surface directly. I always prefer speaking in person. Face to face at last. Your holo does you no justice, my friend.
Welcome to Odessen. We're honored by your visit.
And I am honored to be your guest. Permit me to be direct. My duty as liaison is to facilitate your operations as best I can. My success is judged by your success. I will not profit from obstructing or undermining you. Much as I savor them, deception and manipulation are not among my objectives here. I will relate my Empress's desires to you and your accomplishments to her. Anything you require of the Empire's resources, I will obtain. I shall be your ally, your spokesman, and I hope your confidant. You have my vow on it.
Exactly what a manipulator would say. Time will tell.
Indeed, it will. Now, if I may impose upon you a bit more before we delve into official matters, I would love a tour of your base. The stories I've heard.
Of course. I'll show you around myself.
Wonderful. Lead the way.
Our military wing. Commodore Pardax commands our fleet and ground forces.
Your soldiers come with the highest recommendation. To overcome the forces of Zakul, where so many others failed, they must be magnificently deadly. A pity to have lost the Eternal Fleet. But victory will be ours regardless.
Our Force Enclave.
I'm told your apprentices have trained with members of several Force-using groups, including Jedi. A valuable advantage in combat. Perhaps we could arrange some shared training with the Overseers on Korriban? I'm sure they would have much to learn.
Our science labs. Dr. Ogorob leads our research teams.
A hot scientist. The reports were true. It's wonderful to meet you, Dr. Ogorob.
You must be Darth Rivix. I cannot thank you enough for the wealth of materials you forwarded. Targeted viral pathogens, cross-species manipulation of cerebrocortical structures. Truly fascinating research.
Thrilled to oblige.
Our underworld trading experts. You've already spoken with Hyloviz.
Your integration of otherwise criminal activities and personnel is truly innovative. Where others see risk, you see opportunity.
My crews appreciate those free fly codes. Never had smoother sailing in Imperial territories.
Of course, whatever aids the Alliance aids the Hand.
The cantina. Care for a drink?
Not at the moment, but I would love to share one later. The destruction of the Meridian Complex on Corellia continues to accelerate our war efforts. We've won decisive victories in the Bormir, Atravis, and Anoat sectors. The Republic is reeling. Perfect conditions for the Hand to press the advantage.
Where does Asino want us to strike first?
That will come in time. For now, let's focus on logistical concerns. We are solidifying supply lines and secure communications between Odessen and the rest of Imperial space. An initial deployment of security personnel and patrol ships is already en route. All subject to inspection and approval by your staff, of course. We would like to deploy an additional complement. Assault troops, transports, and so on, to serve in your missions. Having them here, ready to move at your command, would seem logical.
Any more troops that are stationed here will have restricted access, I'm sure you understand.
Of course. We are your allies, not an occupation force. Now then, there is one other matter that needs your attention as we spin up the Hand's day-to-day operations. The troops selected to join the Hand are among the Empire's best, but given your extensive combat experience, I thought you might like to order additional training?
It would be a good opportunity for them to integrate with our current forces. See to it.
Of course. I believe that concludes our business for the day. Do you require anything else?
Any word on Darth Malgus? I haven't seen him since Corellia.
You are not alone in that. No one has seen him since the battle. It's all rather mysterious. Perhaps he was more badly injured than anyone knows. Or perhaps he's gone rogue again. But surely that's not possible.
I will not return. I will not return. I will not.
Once again, your vital signs have elevated far beyond ideal values. I am concerned that these episodes pose a risk of permanent damage.
Then stop them.
I have already removed all physical modifications related to your loyalty assurance protocols. These hallucinations are the result of psychological manipulation. To correct such potent mental conditioning is beyond my program's scope of practice. Honestly, I am unaware of any technique capable of editing the pathways of your mind so extensively.
I have heard of one possibility. Set course for Dantooine.
We've waited too long as it is. Something is wrong. I'm sure of it.
Smashing up the place isn't gonna solve anything. We'll find the ship. It's gonna be all right.
I take it there's no sign of the transport with Satele and her followers.
Nothing. It isn't responding to our signals. And we've already checked the next scheduled stop. No sign.
Which leaves just about 200 or 300 systems to search.
There must be another way!
Have you always been this emotional?
All we can do is start searching from the ship's last known coordinates, which, for us, could take forever. So we get an expert. We'll send T7 out with an escort and all the probe droids we can find. They'll cover more ground and sort through sensor readings faster than we ever could. T7 works as astromech magic, crunches the probe data to pick up a trail, and we find our missing ship in a matter of days or weeks, instead of years.
I can't think of anyone better for the job.
That's everything settled then. As soon as we get coordinates, you'll be the first to know. Don't worry, your furniture's safe. It'll calm down in a bit.
You don't demand anything, Jakaya. Certainly not from her.
If you're risking your life out there, I'll demand what the clan requires.
What's going on?
It seems I'm a child in need of a parent.
You're Mandalore, the Avenger. You have responsibilities to all of us.
So you often tell me.
Who's this?
Jakaya Ordo. One of my best. He managed to avoid my notice for too long, but now I've put him to work. Though I'm having second thoughts.
I would gladly go back to being an unknown, Great Mandalore. I prefer the talk of warriors to the endless jabbering of politics.
The curse of being skilled at both, you old rancor.
So you're the one. Not sure if I should call you Commander.
Friend is fine, if it's all the same to you.
Friend it is. Bersha in Mandoa. The fact is, I wanted to meet you. I only know your reputation. I don't know you. It's my job to take a hard look at anyone this close to Mandalore. Had a lot of dealings with your kind, Sith. I'll never understand what drives you, but I respect your focus.
I've worked with Shay a long time with no problems. What changed?
You don't clean a gun when you're under fire. I keep things running around here because everything has a place. Except you. It was time to get your measure.
And?
I've seen your face. Looked into your eyes. That's what I wanted.
Satisfied?
For now.
Good. I'm sure you have more important things to do.
Some clan grumbling to track down. More than the usual complaints. Ras and I will check into it. Jakaya out.
Ras?
His brother. They're a family of Mandalorians. Lost a sister a few years back.
Something wrong?
That's the first time he's mentioned a clan issue. He oversees a lot of the day-to-day details without a word.
Do you trust him to deal with this?
Yes. If I didn't, he wouldn't have my support. I may grow restless at the jabbering of politics, but I will do right by my clans. He's better for rooting out this kind of thing anyway. He kept an assassin's knife out of my gut more than once. You're a leader. How would you deal with unrest in the ranks?
If a group has a problem, it's usually for a reason. Maybe they see something you don't.
We have more in common than I thought. Mandalorians must be allowed to speak out, to think for themselves, to be effective. Jakaya demands order. Everything working together as a whole. I understand, and it keeps it all running, but I don't work that way. Well, looks like I've got reports to review on escort missions we've been overseeing. Jakaya snuck them into the transmission. Sneaky Jakar.
I'll leave you to it.
Did you learn anything from the clans?
Nothing I haven't mentioned before. A lot of heated words. Some are saying Mandalorians are just glorified couriers.
Still unable to see past their next fight. All tactics and no strategy.
However restless you are in the position, Mandalore, you sound like a leader.
I sound angry. My blaster is still a better negotiator than I will ever be. What about the escort runs?
Silence. But only a fool would believe they haven't heard something.
What happened?
Some of the cargo ships we were looking after ran into trouble. Mostly scouts sniffing around. But one exchanged fire. We've been looking into it.
Jakaya.
Bersha, we meet again. I've been keeping an eye on you.
And?
Mandalore was right to stand by your side.
Sounds like you should be watching someone else.
Always.
Who would attack Mandalorian ships?
That's the real question. They're well equipped and they know our methods.
You need to get ahead of this. Everyone knows the Mandalorians are looking after some very valuable goods. Very tempting.
Agreed. But it's not common bandits or even an ambitious cartel. This feels different. Like they're testing our defenses. I know you object, Mandalore, but we must look closer to home.
I don't object. I just want to be sure. Would some of the clans really go that far?
I'm not ruling it out. Like I said, there were some heated words.
Like Shay said, we need to know more before we jump to conclusions.
I understand. But something is making my trigger finger itch. We should have clamped down harder on the clans when we had the chance. The wound has festered.
No, Mandalorians aren't droids. We're best when we don't have some restraining bolt on our neck, even if it costs us.
Agreed. You go too far and you risk losing control.
And sometimes, too much freedom leads to chaos and destruction.
Enough. We gave our word to protect those shipments, and we will.
Understood, Mandalore. I'll see if I can draw the enemy out. Can't fight what we can't see. If I'm lucky, I'll make them mad enough to come out and play. Jakaya out.
I'd prefer a fight to all this sneaking about.
Agreed. Keep me informed.
Count on it.
T7, you found the ship with Satil Shan and her students.
Finally. Great work.
We need those coordinates now. There isn't a moment to spare.
Fall back. We have the coordinates. Leave it to us.
We need to get there now. The servants have found their master.
The servants? I can't believe there are any of them left.
You speak of the former Emperor's Hand. Servant 1, Servant 2. Their ilk.
Precisely. Those two are long dead. But there were more behind them. More than even I knew. Each time we think we've killed the last of them, more always appear.
We have to get moving. If the servants are involved, this is even worse than we thought.
How did they even find your ship? We had a head start and it still took weeks.
They must hear their old master's call in their minds. Just as we feared.
We can't risk taking anyone else. They won't be able to resist the Emperor's control like we can. I'll get a shuttle prepped. Meet me as soon as you're ready. One way or another, this ends today.
I realize this is something you must do without me, but I couldn't let you go without at least wishing you luck. The way this is unfolding, I'm completely disheartened. I never dreamed we'd face Valkorion again, and now you must do so without my help. I hope you know that if I could, I would be by your side for this.
I always appreciate your concern, but I hate making you worry. This will be over soon. I promise.
I don't doubt it. Just stay safe.
Good, you're still here. I was hoping to catch you before you took off.
What is it, Theron?
Oh, you didn't think I'd let you leave without a kiss for luck, did you?
I don't know, you cut it close. But I think you can make it up to me.
Oh, I'm pretty sure I can. And there's something else. I hope there's room for one more on that shuttle, because I'm going with you.
I appreciate the thought, but are you sure?
I know it's risky, but Satil is in trouble. I have to help. I lost one parent. I'm not just standing by and letting the other one go. Not if there's something I could do to save her. Whatever the Emperor's doing, I can resist it. I was on Ziost. He didn't control me then. Sure as hell won't let him affect me now.
Commander.
We need to speak with you. Before you go...
Is the entire Alliance planning to come along?
I don't believe so.
We're coming with you. We helped you defeat Valkorion before, and we won't abandon you now. Whatever this weapon is that he's unleashed, I'm sure it won't have any power over Arkan and I.
This is just as much our responsibility as it is yours. If there's the slightest chance Valkorion could return, we must do what we can to stop him.
Sorry to interrupt your send-off, but we need to get going.
We will accompany you.
I'm going too.
That is really not a good idea.
Kira is correct. Too many are already infected by Tenebrae's weapon. Bringing you is too great a risk.
That's not your call to make. The only orders I'm following are the commander's.
All right then. What do you think?
I wasn't expecting anyone to offer to come with us, especially since we don't truly know what we're up against. We're going to need all the support we can get. Thank you.
If that is your decision.
It is.
Then let us proceed as carefully as possible. This changes the entire plan.
I wish you all good luck, and I'll keep our forces here on high alert. Should you need us, just say the word.
Let's hope it doesn't come to that.
Still, it's good to know we've got backup.
Enough talk. Let us depart before we lose the droid.